Welcome back for another big story here. Now, if you drive in Lagos, you better buckle up because stricter traffic laws are here. The state government has introduced new speed limit monitors across major roads and imposed hefty fines for traffic violations. Now, motorists exceeding speed limits face penalties of up to 50,000 naira while running a red light, attracts a 20,000 naira fine. Now, the claim. Now, to curb reckless driving, reduce accidents, and improve road safety. But not everyone is convinced. Some motorists argue that enforcement is too aggressive and the fines are too steep.
So, how will these new laws impact road users? Are they a step in the right direction or just another financial burden on motorists? Joining us now to break it all down is Timileyin Sanwo, an auto security expert. Any relations to the other Sanwo? No relations?
Hi, how you doing?
Good to have you here. Good to have you.
Morning.
Good morning.
Welcome. Let's get started, shall we? Let's look at the bigger picture. What do you think Lagos authorities are taking? Is it an aggressive, in quotation, approach, so to speak, when it comes to speed limits and traffic monitoring?
Well, I think firstly, it's a step in the right direction in terms of e-policing as a system. But I feel like awareness has not really been properly done before the implementation started. And what I would have actually expected was that before the implementation, there will be a timing, and also before you can even say you want to find people, there should be like a strike, kind of. Not like once your car just passes through.
Two strike, third strike, you get fined.
Second strike, third strike. No, your car just passes through, and boom, 50,000 naira is off your plate number.
Yeah. Lagos is a mega city, okay? And if you were to comparison of other mega cities, do they get strikes? A question.
Well, if we really want to go by that, then we should be talking about implementing it across the states and not just some few regions of the states.
I can answer that, actually. let me try and see if I can answer that.
Yeah.
Now, note, Judith, in other climes where you have proper policing of traffic laws and all of that, you actually get warnings. You could, by discretion of the official, get a warning, I'm letting you off this time. That's a strike. In Lagos, if you put in these infrastructure and say you're just going to get fined, and let's note, Sanwo, that you actually don't even know that you've been penalized. You continue doing what you're doing. 3rd Mainland Bridge, I'm not going to tell how fast I go. But
I was waiting. I was waiting.
But here's the thing, Judith. Here's the thing, Judith. He said, awareness. There was no awareness. Not that there wasn't adequate awareness. Regarding the 3rd Mainland one, as a practical example, Judith, I've been through the 3rd Mainland Bridge at a slow pace, looking for these cameras. Not for any other reason but research. Not because I want to dodge them. And I will tell you that I only noted, I think, what might have been one speed camera.
And let me say this, right? Let me say this. And I hate that I'm on the side of the government for this one. But Lagos drivers is so notorious that if you've not been to Lagos and you're a driver, they warn you about Lagos drivers. You have never been to Lagos, but you drive vehicles and you live outside of Lagos, they warn you. It's so notorious that it is immortalized in our music, in our literature, and in our news. And so, if they have to use this as a measure to stop reckless driving, with the tanker drivers, with all of the accidents that are because of major speeding, is this not justified?
I feel like there's a difference between reckless driving and speed limits. There's a difference. And you need to also think about the architecture of our environment, because we also have insecurity issues. Somewhere like 3rd Mainland Bridge, you should not be driving slow at night in that kind of place. Somewhere like Mobolaji Bank Anthony, I don't think I should be driving. I mean, I wouldn't say that it's right to go above the speed limit laws, but there's also security concerns in our environment. And when you're talking about Lagos driving and all, reckless driving is different from speed.
But people are reckless.
Who are you people?
Lagos
I want to
drivers.
go back to the question that I tried to pose from before regarding the infrastructure that's being put in place and the fact that I've actually taken personal note where these cameras are. I noted that I only found one. Now, if I know where this camera is, I can elude it. How well is that helping the situation?
I don't think it's possible to elude it because they are wide-angle cameras and they are plate number recognition cameras, and they are seeing you from a long distance. They are seeing you from a long distance. They are capturing you from that long distance, and they are telling the speed at which you are moving. So it is difficult because they are very high-speed cameras. And another thing
They do have a range, and that range ends.
Yes.
It's not going to be more than.
Have you seen the amount of cameras on Third Mainland Bridge?
How many? I just said I only noticed
They are,
one.
I think, is on every 10 kilometers on Third Mainland Bridge. There are a lot of them. In fact, one of my own concerns is the fact that you get to almost the middle of Third Mainland Bridge before you see the speed limit sign. And
Then there is
yeah,
that.
I saw, when I posted it online, I saw somebody commenting about, oh, if you have a driver's license, you should actually know what the speed limit is. So I'll say, if you are just coming to Lagos or you are new in Lagos, how am I going to know the speed limit if I don't see the signage?
Signs.
And now, from the beginning of the Third Mainland Bridge, you can't even find the signage. You can't find the signage from the beginning. At the end, you can't find the signage.
It's right in the middle.
We just have right in the middle. So by that time, you've already been captured. So now the question is, what are we trying to do? Are we trying to stop it, or we are just trying to catch people?
Are we trying to make money
We are
out
trying
of
to make
motorists?
money out of it. yeah.
Well,
That's what I thought. Actually, I won't. That's what. Now, the
Yeah.
Third Mainland Bridge is not the only place that these cameras have been installed. There's also a couple of them in Ikeja here. Could you list out a couple?
Yes,
of these
there's
places?
Alakpere inward, Ugudu Alakpere inward, Third Mainland Bridge. The Alakpere Express is there. We have one at Mobilize Back Anthony Express also is installed. Then Allen also. Allen does not even, as at last week, there was no signage on Allen at all that was talking about there was no signage at all talking about the speed limits at all. You know, speed limit cameras. But yet, people are getting fined. So I feel like we should start with the strikes first. The strikes first, the warnings first, before we now go into the full implementation that we are start to pay, let's pay.
what do you think could have informed their decision to mount those cameras in those particular locations, those routes?
Yeah, so
Are they hotspots for car accidents?
Third Mainland, definitely.
Third Mainland, yes,
yeah.
one. Third Mainland,
Alakpere
one.
K2?
Alakpere K2 also, there's a lot of, is also an hotspot, actually. Then I also feel like the government is paying a lot of attention with this. I feel like the mainland is like a testing ground for some of these technologies before they go, you know, to the other regions. But, I mean, I really don't know why these are the areas where, you know, it's being concentrated
But
on.
isn't the mainland more densely populated than the island?
And the roads used
And the roads
more.
are more used than the island. I guess that's what.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. We don't have statistics to prove that. We have a very high population towards Aja, and we have the Lekki Aja Expressway is also a very, and if you see the way people run on those roads, so, you know, now I'm seeing people say that, oh, I don't like to come to the mainland again because the mainland has all those things. So please, let them
No,
take
don't
this.
come back. We don't want you on the mainland. If that's the case, please stay your lucky, your ecosystem.
So you're saying that the strikes should have happened, but let's take
Yeah.
let's move it a little bit back. Let's move the needle a little bit back. Have they ensured, in terms of all the compliances, like have they done enough to sensitize drivers and road users when it comes to reckless driving and speeding?
Well, I feel like when it comes to reckless driving and speeding, we can never say we have done enough because it is something that has to be continuous. We have to keep sensitizing people on the need for speed and need to reduce speed. And a lot of people don't even understand. They don't know take for instance now, a lot of accidents happen in Otedola, and by the next morning you won't see it anymore. So, so if you are not close to the road safety, you will not even understand the statistics of a lot of all these things that are happening. And sometimes when even the government is taking drastic measures like this, I would actually understand with them that yes, these are measures to actually, present. But I feel like there are other things that could have been done and major ways, because there is a way people would handle situations when it just looks like, because we need to see these policies and see this innovation as they are doing it for our safety, not people seeing it from the angle of, oh, the government is trying to make more money.
And which is how
people are perceiving it. Do you get
on
that?
that, Timileyin, regarding the mode of which these penalties are given out to people, I noted in the beginning that people are not alerted, or are they alerted when they have been fined? Because the last time I was fined, I only got to know at the point of re-registering my vehicle for the next year. So if these fines are in place now, would I continue to accrue these fines until when I'm ready to go and re-register?
So you see, that one is a bit dicey because I know
Say it.
I know a lot of people that have stories around it. Some people did not get notified. Some people got notified. They got notified in February that their car was fined in December.
Exactly.
And they got notified like in February about that. Then I know someone that actually said, I've not even driven this car in 5 years.
How did I get fined?
How did I get fined? I know someone that actually said something of such. I've not driven in 5 years. Another person said, this guy has bonds. This guy is bonds. Now, what is happening?
Yeah.
But
I got notified of a car I sold 6 months ago.
You go what?
Notified of a car I sold without the plates
ago.
6 months ago.
Without plates?
Without the, I still have my plates at home in the store, which I'm not going to use again. But I got a text message telling that some infringement had occurred and that I can debate it or something like that.
Yeah, so I mean, there's a lot of, I have, my gem is filled with a lot of information around that, but I mean, I really don't. So those things like that, I feel like, but they've been giving opportunities for people to come and dispute it, and when you go there and you're able to prove that, oh, it didn't happen, then you can. But the problem is some people don't even know on time, and they don't see that expression until when you're about to renew your document, and they tell you that, hold up,
80,000.
Hold up. And here's why I think this is a situation. My theory is this: not enough manpower. Number one. Number two is there's no automation in terms of like how best to. I think it's data. Data is the issue.
There's no
how
handshake.
There's that time efficiency to get to the driver or the owner of the vehicle. There's none of that. So manpower and data in terms of tech efficiency, right, to sort of settle disputes. But I also think that it is because Nigerians don't like to pay. Work with me, right? So they know that the only way they can get you to pay this thing is when you come to renew your papers. So they'll be like, you know what I mean? Like, they'll catch you in front. Be going. And so I think, and it's just who we are, just it's our mentality, right? So three
very
things.
Interesting. So if you have that in place, then why do I still have the LASMA guys or the FRSC on the roads harassing, in quote, harassing motorists? If I already have this in place where I will definitely get penalized when I'm renewing my papers.
Thank you, Manzino. I think that is actually the big concern, because the big concern is the fact that we don't have synchronized data. We don't have synchronized data. And, it's so crazy that the Lagos database is different from the Abuja database, is different from
Let's talk about that after. Go on.
Centralization, data, I just talked about it.
And now, aside from that also, as the VIOs, I know VIO is working in integration with the Lagos State with this for this technology. Road safety is something completely different. Road safety is something completely different that they don't care about. They don't care about that. So if we actually go in this direction and it's actually for the right cause, I think the stakeholders involved needs to first sit down and say that, you know what, no fines in Lagos. Everything is going through this particular source, and we will know that yes, this is what we are, and it will be properly implemented.
Judith, a story. I heard at Timileyin that if your vehicle has an Abuja plate number, we're talking about this, that you do not risk these fines or getting stopped by the authorities. So when I heard this, allegedly, when I heard this, my wife's number plate is ABJ, and I will tell you something.
It's worked?
At least I have never been stopped.
Okay, that's
Personal
a
experience. I have never been stopped. But on my car, which number plate is FST?
Yeah.
Okay.
This way.
Why is this?
Well, you've actually said it.
I'm not to allegedly what I said.
I tried not to want to.
Going there.
I tried not to want to talk about it.
But
the truth about it is that we still come back to the same old thing that we don't have a synchronized data. And if Lagos State wants to go this direction, they will just lose a lot of customers. They will lose customers, they will lose people by using Lagos State plate number, because they will just understand this. So but rather than bringing up an innovation and there's a very clear security bridge, do you get, around it, it's better for that one to be sorted out before this kind of innovations are actually implemented. And we just know that we have one centralized system, because it's actually very unfair. It's kind of very unfair. Like me, I'm getting fined. You are not getting fined. VIU is seeing this person and say, this person are meat. nah, food be this.
Lexus.
And I think
You know,
that way to do things with so much impunity, right?
Mm-hmm.
To every other agencies that when it concerns roads and regulation of road traffic, they have their own tactic and method.
Mm-hmm.
Let's also talk about the impunity in which they do this thing and how is it that their agencies have now been lax in curtailing them? Because there's one law that, these people is not supposed to stop you. These people are supposed to stop you. But they know the law, they will still stop you.
Including police.
But like,
Including police.
but you know, for VIO now, they said they should not stop you again. They've stopped stopping you. Maybe there's camera now. They only stop you because you already have a fine and you have a business with them.
They will stop me if they identify
automated
that I have a fine. Because
When
I noticed that they carry these machines about, and then they scan your number plates, and if you have a penalty, they'll
Then
tell
that's
you
when
that
they stop you.
they might take your car from you if you haven't attended to the fine. So that happens, and
So they're sorting the problems small by small.
You know, we
Small by
like
small.
we like
And
sharp. We like sharp.
And you know,
sharp,
for the
sharp.
police, it's security. Police is security. Police has to be on the road. We can't say police.
So
has to
in
be
the
on
case
road.
of fines,
yeah,
the police have no say when it comes to if I'm owing fines. It's not their
police
business.
doesn't have,
Okay.
And that's why we are talking about let us centralize all these things, because police will tell you that, we are doing our own for national security. VIO will say, I'm doing my own to ensure that
in their efforts for national security,
Yeah.
do they need my papers?
they need to be sure you own the car now.
Yeah, but it says there on the screen, it's my car, the license is there, and my license plate, my
They need to confirm. They need to confirm.
what do they need to, what documents do they need to
Is he
confirm?
a member of the
that is my
police?
car? No,
I'm a Nigerian.
he's good at this, he knows these documents, he'll be shouting all over his Instagram. So, but then it just brings to the fore the fact that we have a system that is arbitrary in its nature.
But you know the thing is that everybody will tell you the reason why they have to do what they have to do. And in a way, the same law that you're quoting, they will quote the same law for you and tell you that. Because, take for instance now, a lot of times when police cannot be taken out of the road, let us even first forget that one. They can't be taken out of the road because there's a lot of, car theft is a lot. When there are car theft issues, police has to mount some certain checkpoint. They won't tell you why we are on the road. They will not tell you that we are on the road because we are looking for one Lexus.
Right.
But when time they start to see a car that is giving threat, they are on the road for several reasons.
Right.
They will stop you and ask you some certain questions. They might just chat you up.
But they're not on the road for fines.
They're not on the road for
That is
fines.
noted, not for the fines.
And let's just be clear.
But they will ask you. They need to confirm that you are driving your vehicle.
License of vehicle, that should be enough.
And I have to say this, and that's the reason why we're seeing more individuals who impersonate police officers. They impersonate them because of the proliferation of these police officers on the roads with their road checks. I know their business is confidential; they're not supposed to share with the citizens. But because we have them at certain points, people, some unscrupulous elements, will now go and don their uniforms and go out and impersonate them. And so I think that's why it's important we continue to hammer this issue of impunity with these agencies. Do your job, all right? Stick to your jurisdiction so that people don't, because by doing that, you're giving people leeway to go and do nonsense.
So when it comes to the citizens of Lagos now, what must they have in mind regarding these fines that are being put in place by the Lagos state government? We noted that Third Mainland Bridge, the Lakbere area, these are places, and also Bank Anthony, if I'm not mistaken. These are places that have been, noted that have these cameras. What about the other places, inroads of Lagos State, where people, young boys, drive recklessly? What can they do to curtail these instances?
I think generally, what we should just advise is that don't overspeed. There's no way.
What is our rule for speeding? What's our cap on speed?
So on major roads, you shouldn't go above 80 kilometers per hour.
Well, it was 100 kilometers a couple of years ago. Why 80 kilometers now?
It's 80 now.
Because it's more dense now.
Do you know that in Dubai? When they say speed limit is 80 in Dubai, you still have the opportunity to do 20 extra.
Okay.
If you do 90, you won't be fine. But you see, this Lagos.
It's 80 and that's it.
It's 80 and that's it. So I feel like the 80 is also, it was placed at 80 to give a bit of laxity, but I don't know if that is being implemented.
There are economic,
but,
what do you call it, disadvantages to actually having such a slow speed limit.
As you know, we should
I
look
was
at
saying
this
something one
advantage.
day
Because Lagos is a paced
Exactly.
city. And your deliveries in that right now, when you make a delivery, when you want a delivery, it's by Okada. Oh, does this even include Okada?
I hope it does.
I hope it doesn't.
I hope it does.
I hope it doesn't.
I signed it because of you. You know what I said? I hope it does.
Those Okada guys run so fast that even the split division camera cannot even capture those split numbers.
So
Even
how
if
are they
you
going to address that?
even if-
then? How are the authorities going to
I
address that?
feel I really don't
They're
know. but-
forward-facing cameras mostly.
Yes, they're forward-facing cameras.
And
I feel like
Okadas don't have.
I feel like they've not installed enough of those cameras, and after a while, they'll begin to put them into consideration. But do you know that another reason for traffic in Lagos is slow driving?
Yes, and that's my point about how it is going to affect
They're not
the
supposed to
economy.
drive. So if you are finding people that are driving too fast, you start finding people that are driving too slow.
Exactly.
Because, you know, I mean,
But
Yeah.
okay, so help me here, right?
We're out of
Just-
time,
I know we're out of time, but maybe just a food for thought to take home with.
Yeah.
If you're saying that driving slow also affects the other drivers, but our road users have multiplied even in the last 5 years. It's now more densely populated. So are our roads. So driving slow from 100 to 80 is beneficial for other road users because when you're driving fast and you're moving, you're causing issue now.
So because if
really like
because the
mathematics
speed limit is 80, I would not want to get to 80. So I'll just maintain let me just be cruising at 50. And imagine if 4 people are cruising at 50 from the beginning of Third Mainland Bridge. Any one of you that is coming at 75 will have to wait at the back.
You slow down now. Slow down. It's simple now. Except there's an emergency, you slow down. But I must say that all of the data we give out to the world, every single time I give out my data, a star dies. That's why we have less starry skies.
Oh, because of your data.
Oh, because of my data.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much, Timileyin, for a very interesting conversation
you.
about.
Nice to be here again.
I mean, you made traffic sound very interesting. You always do that on your page. Thank you very much.
Say hi to your uncle for me. The one and only Olu.
Thank you very much for sticking around.